Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully the freeze dryer running in the background is not going to be too noisy depending on which direction this microphone is facing. So I dug out the small submersible pump, trying to test if that's going to be powerful or too powerful, powerful enough or too powerful to run the little grow tower that I printed and have been really slow to get working. So I did order up new tubing. So the ironic or the sad part, however you want to word it, so this is 3/8 interior diameter. I'm like, well, I don't know. Had to find the bag of fittings. And so the bag of fittings with all of these barbed ends are varying size, normally on the larger size even for the small pump or the bigger pump that was running the greenhouse before. So anyways, here's the smallest one. Only problem is this is 1/2 inch. So what am I going to do? I order from Amazon? No. So went upstairs, not going to show that. I've got a new one printing on the 3D printer, about 25 minutes, and we'll see what happens. So anyways, going to stop with this part of the video, going to jump over to the next part, show that, do some updates outside, hopefully come back and show the new 3D printed part fitting in the pump, fitting to the hosing, and then we'll take it outside and see if everything does what it's supposed to. If not, I'm going to have to order a new pump. They're only like 18 bucks, but why order one if you got one that's working, right? So anyway, so part 1 of X. So on to the next topic. Alright, on to the next topic. So related to the grow tower. So, and this one's for Lisa. We'll see if she comes over and actually watches the video. I'm actually going to text her and say, hey, this video's for you. So inside of the grow tower, you can use all different kinds of medium. So these are rock wool plugs, which are great for some of these smaller things where it has a little slice in there, and then you can put your little plant and stick that down in the either the net cup or, in this case, the 3D printed cup that goes down in there. Rock wool comes in all different shapes and sizes and prices. But so these are plugs. So this is actually designed to take the little plug, and then you can pick that up and put that in this bigger square of rock wool. I mean, they go, the ones I've physically seen in the store, as big as 6x6 cubes. So then you can take your little plant, stick it in the rock wool giant cube, and go from there. But anyways, so I found that the plugs work real good because they're small enough to sit down in net cups and things. But somebody in the Monday Night Live would say, well, I like to use Oasis cubes. Anybody know what those are? And so Lisa's like, Brian, do you know what those are? I'm like, well, actually I do. So Oasis cubes, they're like a foam style cube. I already have them taken out of the box. They come in different shapes and sizes and price points as well. But the short version is, and here is part of a big sheet of them which would have come in the box. They're light like foam. Just like anything else, you put the little seed in the hole. I think these you pre-moisten, then you put the seed in, but these work okay. I didn't find that they worked well for me in my hot climate. I mean, they work, but when I was using them in the greenhouse, it seems like they, I don't know, I don't want to say they molded because it's been a couple years since I remember. They just weren't great for what I was using them for. But this is an alternative medium. It's super light. I mean, this is as light as it can get until it absorbs water, and then they just break apart real easy. Like I said, there's different sizes for the Oasis cube. So just another option, because it really depends on if you're ordering from like Amazon or some other online store. If you have a hydroponic store near where you're at, that's your best bet, so you can go and see and touch, and maybe they have their own recommendations depending on what you're growing or not. But there's tons of options. rock wool all over the place, all different shapes and sizes. Oasis and whatever other flavors that they want to call these are just one set of grow medium that you can use. So anyways, Leisa, that's for you. You can try them out. Me personally, I think the rock wool is probably your better bet. Run outside here and no noisy neighbors, so hey, let's finish up the video. Got the smoker going. I've got a tri-tip hanging out in there, so that's what's for dinner later. Not a lot of updates outside of it's a little cooler today. I think high 80s, low 90s. We did peak in 100, 105 in the middle of the week. Looks like it's going to be a little cooler this week, so I'll show you the tomatoes. Those are the only things that are really showing any strides. However, I say that and look over here. Here's this little nub of a branch that I've got of figs, and there's probably 10 figs on this little itty bitty plant here, so that's pretty crazy. This is the original lemon cutting of mine, and then I have all these cuttings from the coworker, and these are all alive, and there is new growth, and same with down here. This one, even with the funky leaf that you can see that I cut, that's all chopped off, all new growth, so that's wonderful. I still haven't got around to transplanting, so I've got one bay that's alive there. That one looks like it's dead. That's living, and that's iffy. And then the rosemaries. So the beans and cucumbers, I installed the lids this morning. They were getting hit pretty hard with the heat, so this will take off direct sun from them, so then they'll get the overhead and then they'll get the shade, because like right now it's 2 o'clock ish and it's already shaded back here, so this will take a ton of direct sunlight, except for the very last one where it's getting, not getting blocked by the house. So I replanted seeds, so I think these Roma 2s, I think the seeds are bad, because we'll give it a couple more days, and I've planted seeds twice and nothing's popped up. So this is the backside of the dragon and the tongue of fire. That plant's not doing real good. I can't tell if a bug got it or the heat did, because the other plants are kind of surviving, so I may have to replant in there. Rattlesnakes, I did replant a couple of seeds, but the rest of them seem to be doing okay, although that one back there looks like something ate it. So just kind of replanting as I go. So this is the Wisconsin SMR. I think I put 2 seeds in there. This one's not going to survive. It's puny. Heat got to that, so that's why the covers are on. This is the ones that are called homemades. I did replant a few in here as well, and same thing with the, what were these, tender somethings, tender greens. So I did replant back in here, so hopefully something will pop up in a couple of days. If not, we'll just keep throwing seeds in there. I don't know if I told you what I put in here. So I had one of the purple sweet potatoes. I found a donor potato in one of the totes, so I planted it just to see what it does. These 3 are horseradish. I don't see anything popping up. Not sure how that's going to do. Nothing special going on over here. The strawberry plants are really healthy. I'm trying to keep them watered. There are strawberries in there, and not too many slugs right now, but I know that the ants are eating them. So a little bit of hit and miss. Haven't got to the onions. Been hot and busy. Although there's weeds in there, so I need to Then all the little pots, some of them died out, some of them didn't. I need to basically give everything a good haircut, transplant, keep them separate from the Serenity AGs. These are the potato onions, so I need to clean these out, get them replanted, and see how they do. So let's start on the end. So this is the replacement 4th of July. This thing's doing really well. It's just weird how a couple of the plants just were doing absolutely terrible. So really healthy, blossoms coming. I'm going to come out and pick some of these Juliet grapes hanging out down here at the bottom. They were the first ones, trying to get them before they start to rot and get weird being down with all the moisture. But there's, as you can see, there's tons more. I mean, look at all of those in there. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty cool. Then the husky cherry. There's little tomatoes all over the place, just like it's supposed to be. Which pepper is this one? I don't remember. That's what the tags are there for. Serrano, so that's starting to show some blossoms. The lunchbox, it looks really healthy now. It's about even keel with the brand new one, because that was the other one that I'd gotten replaced. And this is the hot cherry, so it looks healthy. There's some blossoms. I fertilized it, just waiting for it to hit its stride. And the donor plant, I think there's multiple plants, so like I said, I just grabbed the cluster, transplanted it, but it's staying really healthy. A couple crispy critters up here. I'm keeping this watered real well. It might have just been damaged by the wind or just a little bit fried on top, but other than that, that's doing really well. Nothing overly surprising over here. Like I said, the figs are coming out. There's tons of figs on the small one and the big one. I mean, a little bigger than my thumb. They either ripen too fast, I didn't pay attention, or the bugs got them, so I haven't really actually been able to dive into one. So that is the goal, to find them, pick them, and taste them. This lemon is acting weird. You can see there's no blossoms on it. I did do a little trimming down here. That's just because it was just hard to get at, but I mean, it's green, it's healthy. No blossoms. That's really weird. Where this one, you've got fruit. You got fruit coming. You've got some of this. It's June, May, June. You get June drop. They kind of start and then they fizzle and fall off. So there's a couple of them like that. They're dead. That's not going to grow because they grow big, grow green, then they change color. So then Lime World. So lots of limes on this one. This one it's got a bunch, not quite as many as the smaller one, so I don't know if it's just this one's like a year and a half older. Same thing with that is fruit on it. But this smaller one has a ton more. I'm trying to look where all the blossoms were, and I think a lot of the stuff fell off. So even though there were a ton of blossoms and some stuff that was fruiting, I think the wind blew a lot of it off, or June drop. I don't know if June drop happens with the lemons or with limes. But anyways, there's fruit. Nothing from Ginger World yet. We'll see. I still haven't got the netting on the blueberries. Still working on that. Trying to do a little bit of everything and just no time. So I'm getting to what I can when I can. More boards on the fence keep falling down. They haven't fixed it yet. I know the rear property management are trying to get with my property management and figure out who's going to pay for what, when, where, why, but they're taking forever. Got a couple apples. Not doing too bad so far. Hopefully they won't blow off. This one, for some reason, the apples are rotting on the plant. I know this is a little bit dry, but there's plenty of water, so I'm not sure what's going on. It probably just needs to be trimmed back. That one's rotting, that one's rotting, that one. There's only a couple on here that are not, but raspberries, extra sad. And I just noticed when I was watering, that bucket's got a chunk taken out of it. I don't know if I hit it with the lawnmower physically, not with the mower part itself. So raspberries a little sad this year, but the blackberries are doing pretty well, especially the ones not in the sun. Just waiting for them to ripen. Hopefully the birds don't get them. And just trying to see what's hanging out in here. Like, we've got some up there. And I'm trying to see what and where, because the birds get to things before I even know that some of them are there. So that's the sad part, but you know, there are a few berries hanging out. So it is what it is, since I have dedicated space, but it'd be nice to have a bigger area where these are trellised, and just able to support themselves a little bit better. I mean, I knew what I did to them. They're not supposed to need a trellis. Obviously trellis is better, but that was the idea. Throw them out here, see what happens, and just kind of, you know, live and learn. But that was done intentionally. So anyways, that's really it. No more fruit off the fruiting mulberry, but there was a little bit, so that's good. So and then again, haven't had a chance to cover the blueberries yet. I've got the stuff, just doing other things where it's been too hot. Trying not to come out here where it's 100 degrees and then you pay for it dearly that day or the next day because you're out here in the baking heat. Been rambling for a long time today, so I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if we're lucky, the 3D print will be done in a few minutes and we'll see how that goes, and I'll tack that on the end. If not, catch you next week.